Good morning, my ducks. I thought I'd take you around my new, tidied up shed. Wow, this is my workshop. That's where it all happens. I thought I'd take you around. That's I've got in the corner there. My latest job. It's my old bike, which has passed a couple of owners now, and it's come back to me. It was a 250. It's a 2013 YZ. It was 250, but I actually sent the rod into the bottom of the casing, and obviously, you think, oh, that's a trashed engine, and I rebuilt it as a 292 stroker with a lot of hot rods. It's got stage 2 cams in it, hot rods, and the new owners come back and the head gasket's gone. We've got a milky substance in the sump, and yeah, and it's just been throwing the water out, so I'll call them. So there it is. It's as is. I did I'll just turn the video around now, guys, and give you a different aspect. Good morning, my ducks. I thought I'd take you around my new, tidied up shed. Wow, this is my workshop. That's where it all happens. I thought I'd take you around. That's I've got in the corner there. My latest job. It's my old bike, which has passed a couple of owners now, and it's come back to me. It was a 250. It's a 2013 YZ. It was 250, but I actually sent the rod into the bottom of the casing, and obviously, you think, oh, that's a trashed engine, and I rebuilt it as a 292 stroker with a lot of hot rods. It's got stage 2 cams in it, hot rods, and the new owners come back and the head gasket's gone. We've got a milky substance in the sump, and yeah, and it's just been throwing the water out, so I'll call them. So there it is. Yeah, so here she is. I actually rode it, just did a test ride on it when I've rebuilt it, so I sold it on straight away. And I wish, at the time I was moving to the UK, so I had to get rid. I never got to race it in the Fultons. I used to race in the Clubman. There she has it. There's lots on this bike, and it's just a nice opportunity, which I didn't show at the time because I wasn't on YouTube, what I'd done to it. There's quite a bit on it, actually. I've got Galfer front rotor. They're bigger, 270. I think they're 270 discs, but they're a different design. Lots of we've got a Torque Racing gear shifter, that is not, I don't think that's adjustable, but it might be. Obviously the head's been ported, polished at SCT Racing. A guy up in the Bolton area, I think, actually sent that over and then picked it up on holiday. So yeah, that it transforms a bike, especially with the cams. It actually works well. I got R&D fuel thing, just those. The last of the manufacturers to keep a carb, actually. They all went fuel injection after this year, but yeah, I've got a easy adjustment on the side. And what else I did? I put it was actually on these models they came with a restrictive, sharper angled air box, and this is actually off an earlier model, which is a common mod to actually increase the airflow. So they actually restricted themselves. So I found a second-hand one and put it on. I think I used to run a 49 on the back. I've got an up brake that's an I-back spring, and that's for 9,500 kilos. So that was that's one of the most important mods. Also underneath, a good mod to do this was I forgot, I think it's a Devo link. It's a shorter link, and it just changes the rate of the spring. Don't know, it's pretty poor in there, but you can see it. It's a basically shorter link in there. It's had a few rashes. I didn't have these graphics on at the time, but well, I think the current owners put some carbon fibre wrap on it or something. Yes, I think it is a wrap, carbon wrap, which is I did this for us. It's Pro Circuit T4, and it's a complete system. Very good Pro Circuit. It's a top end system, and it's very tunable. The arrestor's out. Did have a spark arrestor in it, needed unless you're in the forest. There we go, there's a RS4 header, and whew, yeah, this bike, I'm going to get to ride this once I've done the head gasket. So I've got, again, Torque Racing adjustable. This one's adjustable brake lever. Makes a big bit of difference, especially with size 10s on it. I've got it right out, but current customer says, oh, I can't hardly feel my brake pedal. Well, that's because you haven't adjusted it. Yeah, as you see, we've got a tax disc in the Falcons. You can ride these on the road, which is bloody brilliant. Obviously, these unbreakable levers. The reason it's red and thing is I got them second hand, and they're a good brand. In fact, just run you through it. We've got I forgot the other racing there. The Sunlines, yeah. So they are branded, and are absolutely beautiful clutch lever. I got Tokyo Mods map switch. Yes, map. And yeah, and I think there's 9 maps on it, ignition maps. The top 3, you only can run with race fuel on it, it just changes the ignition timing. I've got it set on number 7. I did have it on number 7. I don't know what it is now, but you basically click and you're on map 7. Do that, you're on your standard map. The cam has been adjusted for medium to top end, so it's beneficial to set it on map 7. RFX Yeah, basically, the good thing about this Tokyo mods thing, the box, the ignition control module box is in there, and it has, you use a little flat point to change the settings, and there's a cap in there and you can change the settings. Other than that, yes, nice, you know, if you tied it up a bit, you know, there's a bit of rash on the wheel, so I put some rim tapes on it. Yeah, I could do with some replacing or tying up later date, but yeah, a Pico eBay special plug covers. I'll be having them off in a minute. And yeah, guys, girls, yeah, beautiful bike, and I'll get to ride it. 1 1/8 bars, and they're a flatter bar because I'm 6'3". I can't remember these. I can't remember the Pastrana bend. I can't remember exactly, but they're in like a bronzy finish, which is lovely colour. Yeah, I've got these shocks been revalved, I think, but I didn't know the specs. The guy was a similar size guy to me. C1, I think they've been done by C1 or whoever. I think they're a UK company, but they're beautiful shocks. These are beautiful Kiyaba shocks. I've got the bleeders, blue bleeders, and yeah, basically set them in the middle and click a key or two of either side, and they just take up everything. And believe it or not, the harder you go in, the better they work. Evening, girls, guys. Well, about 3 hours so far. Steady away on the YZ. Top ends off, and yeah, I'd blown the gasket. I'll show you now. There we go. And if you can see there's a bit of blow by, and that was represented on the head as well, which I'm now cleaning up. You can see the shiny bits and the blow by. I'll just turn the video around. Right, this is the barrel cylinder. Not too bad. Don't know how many hours it's had since. Still got a bit of cross hatching in there, a bit of scuffing, nothing too serious. Most of the cross hatching is still there. Don't know if you can see there, it's a bit poor light actually. There we go. Yeah, you can see a bit there, look. No major scuffs. A little scuff going on there, but nothing too bad. So I'm gonna hone that out a little bit, not too much. That's a Vertex gasket kit. It's different. 83mm gasket. It's got a 80mm bore. Yeah, I think the standard's around 78, 77, something like that. So obviously that's a bigger piston. And the cams. Got my inlet here. And these are hot cam stage 2. You can see there is an extra mark on here. You got there, if you look there, that's where the chain was, and you use your timing marks, but you can see right down there it was very faint at the southernmost tip. You can see I've got a mark in there, and that's where I've critically timed it with the exhaust cam to my own settings. That was done with dial test indicator. And this is exhaust cam and profiles, and that's what it says, hot cams. This is stage 2. And the adjuster, manual adjuster, saves all that hydraulic crap, less risk of bloody failure. And see in my bath over here, it's aqua braking here. Now there's my cylinder, and this would be a good time to show you. It's just been soaking in there, getting rid of all the carbon. I'll give it a light brushing in there. I don't know if you can see in there, probably not. It's pretty dark in there, isn't it? But you can see it is ported and polished. Well, not polished, but ported. And you see how they've taken some of the guide away, and they've really thinned out the webs of the throats, and that was done by SCT in the UK. Oh, twat. And my boy's Christmas present, little cooker. Moving on to the girl's interest. There's my chain marked up. Hot rod, you see, that's the stroker crank and rod, and there's the piston. That's a Vertex piston. That's 80mm. Not too bad. Just normal tarnish. It's not brown tarnish on it. Nothing too bad. There's been a bit of detonation coming, I think, because you see there, but nothing too much. There's no big. It's quite relatively smooth. And you see these pistons. It's a lipper type piston, and they have a no second ring. So you got your ring and you got your top ring, and they're all pretty good as original, really. As I say, it's not done. Well, I sold it in 2018, and yeah, I don't know how many hours it's done. It's probably only done like, at the most, I'd say anything, it'd be less than 50 anyway. I reckon around 30 hours since. There's a little scoring going on here, but there's nothing. It's relatively smooth. And there's no check for up and down plate, no up and down plate at all, and very little side to side movement. There's a little bit, but that's just the pin going, but as of very little on the rod. That's just the piston going side to side in the pin, but there's literally no up and down movement, and there's been no twats of the valves, so the cam timing must have been good. Yeah, girls and guys, hopefully you enjoyed that insight. I mean, I've not really, I mean, when before YouTube I'd actually built my car. I never had a YouTube channel, so yeah, it's good to see it like this. I just got pictures before. I'm just going to rebuild it all now. New base gasket, new head gasket, new exhaust sealing gasket, and then this gasket's goes here on the cam chain adjuster. I'll put a new plug in. Doesn't look like, you can tell they've not really looked after this bike, because that's the same plug I put in, and that was 4 years ago. You just got to look after these bikes, otherwise things like this happen. I've got my I've already re-shimmed this once, so when I do my valve clearances, hopefully those shims are the right shims. I'm sure they will be. It's not been abused, I don't think. Yeah, happy days. Yeah, well, next part of the video will be starting this baby up, and if I can borrow a bloody helmet, because I've sold all my gear because I don't have a bike anymore, I'll go for a rip up the road, and it'll probably bring a smile to my face because I never really rode the bloody thing. So yeah, cheers guys, girls, see you in the next one.